I had started a website to promote local art, and I had gathered a bunch of pieces from local artists and included some yarns that I had processed already, so they were unique varieties of wool. I thought, well, we'll see what we can get sold. Well, people kept going to my wool and ignoring all the art. So I decided to start dyeing my own wool, and that was about a little more than a year ago. That's basically, that one's ready to just sit. So depending on how I want the yarn to look at the, at the end of it, at the end of the process, makes a difference in how I set up and the order in which I put the dyes and the chemicals. And so it's basically soak the yarn so it's good and wet. You don't want dry yarn unless you want a specific effect. And then when you're ready to dye, you do fill the pan with a little bit of water or a lot of water depending on what you want. And you can add the dye at that point, let it swish around and settle in and mix in with the water real good, and then add your yarn, or you put your yarn in and then you apply dye on top of it. It has to cook, basically. We use what's called acid dyes for wool. They're colors that require an acid to set into the wool so you don't have color leaking all over your laundry. Depending on when you put that makes a difference in how the dye attaches to the yarn. It also requires heat before it's done. And there's ways you can tell if it's absorbed all the dye, then it's done. Whether that's 5 minutes or half hour to an hour later. And then it's dyed. After that, it has to be washed and then dry it, and then it's all set. So there we are.